Hi, welcome to Hive Virtual Edition. My name is Lori. Today we're back in the kitchen and we're going to make a pineapple meringue torte. I have tried this torte many times, but when I looked at the recipe to see how it was made, I was really very surprised. It's very light and fluffy, and I'm told not as hard to make as it looks. You'll notice that there is no flour in this recipe, and yet it tastes like a moist angel food cake. Here are the ingredients for the torte. 7 to 11 egg whites, or 1 1/8 cup. 1 1/2 cups of fine granulated sugar. 1 teaspoon of white vinegar, and 1 1/2 teaspoons of pure vanilla. We'll start by separating the egg yolks and whites. We'll add the egg whites to the vinegar and vanilla. You'll notice there is no flour in this recipe. That's why it's a torte and not a cake. Turn on your electric mixer to number 4 speed for about 2 minutes. Turn it up to speed 5 for another 2 minutes. And now 3 minutes at 7. While the mixing continues, get parchment paper and something 9 inches round that you can trace around. Cut the circle out on the parchment paper. You will need 2 9-inch circles. Place them onto baking sheets. We're going to start adding sugar very slowly. 2 tablespoons at a time, and we're going to have to mix for at least 2 minutes in between the addition of more sugar. Turn your mixer off from time to time to scrape the edges. Up to the last 2 tablespoons of sugar. I'll shut my machine off and scrape the edges so that I can make sure all the sugar is in, and it should be very stiff by now, which it is, but I'm going to run this for another probably 3 minutes to make sure that last batch of sugar gets well mixed. So the mixing is complete. This process of mixing the sugar into the egg whites should take at least 30 minutes. To move over to these 2 rounds of parchment paper that I have set up. We're going to put half of the mixture on each of those parchment paper rounds. The recipe says to put both parchment paper rounds on 1 large baking sheet. These won't fit on 1 large baking sheet, so clearly I don't have a large enough baking sheet. So I'm going to put it on 2. Might make a difference when they're baking if they can't go side by side on the same rack. So I'm going to take half of this very stiff meringue mixture and put it on 1 round and the other half on the other. The recipe says that it should be about 1 inch thick. My oven is preheating to 300 degrees right now. I'll repeat the process on the second piece of parchment paper. I am preheating my oven to 300 degrees. I will bake them for 1 hour and approximately 15 minutes. Here they are finished and they're now ready for the oven. We should try not to open the oven to check on them, but if you must, try to do it very quickly. Because mine are both on 2 separate racks in the oven, I will check on them and probably switch their location halfway through. Turn your oven off. Leave the torte inside until the oven is completely cooled. Then take the torte out and let it cool for 1 to 2 hours. You may freeze for up to 1 week or start to frost. To frost, whip some whipping cream in your electric mixer. Mix until it is stiff. Using a 19-ounce can of crushed pineapple, drain the juice very, very well and mix with the whipped cream. Lift the meringue from the sheet and peel off the parchment paper. Place it flat side up on your cake stand. Spread a thick layer of the frosting on top of the first meringue. Peel the parchment paper off the second meringue. Once again, flip it so that the flat side is up and place on top of the first cake. Begin frosting your torte with the whipped cream and pineapple mixture, giving a nice thick layer on the top and all sides. If your torte is uneven, this is where you'll use the frosting to fill in any areas that are not even. You can use whole pineapple slices or pineapple chunks to decorate, and your torte is finished. It's important that it's stored in the refrigerator for up to 3 or 4 days.